Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to turn this doll into this one. Everything I use is listed in my BJD repaint supplies list linked in the video description below. I got these BJD dolls from KikaGoods.com. You can get 10% off with my exclusive promo code. You can also watch my other unboxings and repaint tutorials on my channel. Okay, let's get started. First, remove the faceplate and pop out the old eyes. Use some acetone and cotton pads to remove the old face paint. Spray the blank face with a matte sealant so you have a smooth, even finish to work on. I made these new eyes in a separate tutorial linked below. If you're a beginner, it's probably easier to sketch out the shape of your eyes when the eyeballs are already placed. I like to do this because it helps me get an idea of what kind of expression I want her to have. I'm happy with this eye placement, so now I'm going to start sketching in her eyeliner with a watercolor pencil. If you make a mistake at this stage, it's easy to erase it. I like to make sure both eyeliners are even before moving on. I'm using a different color for the bottom eyeliner, and notice that I'm using the back of her hair to help me get a better grip on the head. I'm putting her bangs back on to make sure her eyes look okay with the hair. Now I'm very lightly sketching her mouth with watercolor pencils. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I like to grind up different colors of chalk pastels for blush. This allows me to blend and create a variety of colors for use on different parts of her face. Oh yeah, and remember to spray your face with a matte sealant in between steps. This is where I realized I forgot to draw in her eyelids, so I'm doing that right now. Now let's start the blush. I blended a pale brown color to use for contouring on the sides of her face. Now a pale orange, a little bit towards the center of her face and on her chin. Brighter orange for her ears. A mix of pale orange and pink to start off her eyeshadow and blush. I want to give her a flush look, so I'm adding some blush on the bridge of her nose, deepening the colors with a brighter pink on her eyeshadow and blush. After sealing the face again, I'm going to paint over my sketched eyeliner. I wanted to darken the eyelid a little bit more. I usually paint a really thin layer of white on the eyelid to make it look more 3D. Here, I only painted the right side so you can see the difference. The right side pops out a lot more than the left, which is still really flat. Now I'm doing the left side. I think she needs a little bit more eyeshadow, so I'm going to add some more. Darkening her bottom eyeliner. Now I'm starting to use really thin layers of paint to slowly build up her lips and mouth. I add the really thin details with watercolor pencil. This head sculpt actually has a flat mouth, so I'm going to add some contouring with watercolor pencil around the mouth to give it a 3D effect. I used a combination of white and brown pencils. I want her eyelashes to be wispy, so I'm very lightly penciling them in with a pale color pencil. You can barely see it in this video. Using my smallest brush and thin layers of paint, I do the eyelashes. I use a pencil for the bottom eyeliner to make them look soft. I like using these ball stylus tools with different tip sizes to make small dots. It's easier than a paintbrush because you can get perfect circles in consistent sizes. Here I'm using it to get tiny highlights at the tops of her eyes. I'm using a slightly bigger size to make highlights on her cheeks. I gave her some beauty marks with a watercolor pencil. Penciling in her eyebrows, and I'm going to add her bangs back on just to check that it looks right. After sealing the face one last time, I'm going to put the eyes in. Let's put her hair back on. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how cute she turned out. Let's put this head on her body and see how she looks. Here she is, all put together. The outcome is actually a lot better than I expected. Here's a picture of what she looked like before so you can compare. I wanted to keep her puppy eyes and her little pouty expression. I probably shouldn't pick favorites, but I think I like this one better than the doll I repainted before. What do you guys think? You can watch my previous tutorial on my BJD repaint playlist. As a reminder, I got these dolls from KikaGoods.com. You can get 10% off your purchase with my exclusive promo code. Thanks for watching!